Good day to everyone. As India celebrates Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, marking its 75th year of independence, our institution, Government PU College for Girls, Balmatta, Mangalore, has prepared a documentary on the women achievers of our motherland. May these women achievers be a role model for all of us and serve as a guide on how we can contribute to our society and our country.
Savitribai Phule. Savitribai Phule was an Indian social reformer, educationalist, and poet from Maharashtra. Along with her husband in Maharashtra, she played an important and vital role in improving women's rights in India. She is considered to be the pioneer of India's feminist movement. Savitribai and her husband founded one of the first modern Indian girls' schools in Pune at Bhidewada in 1848. She worked to abolish the discrimination and unfair treatment of people based on caste and gender. She is regarded as an important figure of the social reform movement in Maharashtra. Kittur Chennamma. Kittur Chennamma is famously remembered for her fight with the British East India Company along with her army, and that too with defiance against the doctrine of lapse to retain control of her territory. She was defeated in the Second War against the British and died in prison. She was one of the first female fighters in India to resist British colonization, and she is a national heroine who is well known in Karnataka. She is a symbol of the independence movement in India. Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi. Rani Lakshmibai was a prominent warrior of India's freedom struggle who established a remarkable impact on the succeeding women freedom fighters. Her outstanding courage impacted the men and women in India to fight against the opponent's rule. She was an icon of perseverance, bravery, generosity, patriotism, self-respect, and resistance to British rule. She fought against Britishers till her last breath. Begum Hasrat Mahal. Begum Hasrat Mahal, wife of Nawab Wajid Ali Shah, played a vital role during the First War of Independence or the Revolt of 1857, which happened in the period between 1857 and 1858. She was also named as the Begum of Awadh. She guided a troop of her supporters opposing the British rulers, and she also abducted the control of Lucknow. She took shelter in an asylum in Nepal, where she passed away on 7th April 1879. Matangi Hazare. Matangini Maiti was born in Pennuri in Hogla village. Her dire straits compelled her to become the child bride of an affluent widower, Tilochan Hazra, a man in his 60s with a young son. Her married life was nondescript and uneventful. Matangi Hazare was an Indian revolutionary who participated in the Indian independence movement until she was shot dead by the British Indian police in front of the Tamluk police station on 29 September 1942. Annie Besant. Annie Besant was a British socialist, theosophist, women's rights activist, writer, orator, educationist, and philanthropist. Regarded as a champion of human freedom, she was an ardent supporter of both Irish and Indian self-rule. She was a prolific author with over 300 books and pamphlets to her credit. Annie Besant established the famous Theosophical Society in India. She worked tirelessly to revive the Hindu faith, its foundational philosophy, and its modes of worship. She contributed a great deal in the movement of cultural revival which saw Indians rediscovering their national pride. In 1916, she established the Indian Home Rule League, of which she became president. She was also a leading member of the Indian National Congress. In the late 1920s, Besant traveled to the United States with her protege and adopted son, Jiddu Krishnamurti, whom she claimed was the new Messiah and incarnation of the Buddha. Kasturba Gandhi. Kasturba Gandhi, wife of Mahatma Gandhi, also supported and worked with him in India's freedom struggle. She stood as a leader in the women's satyagraha, for which she was jailed in the prison. She coordinated her husband in the motive of no tax campaign in Kaira, Gujarat, and Indigo workers in Champaran, Bihar. She passed away on February 22, 1944, due to severe heart attack. Sarojini Naidu. Sarojini Naidu, popularly known as the Nightingale of India, was an exceptional poet, well-known freedom fighter, and great speaker of her time. She was the first Indian woman to be president of the Indian National Congress and to be appointed an Indian state governor. The aggressive stage of her career was in the period 1917 to 1919, the time she canvassed for the Khilafat movement. In 1930, Mahatma Gandhi selected her to lead the Salt Satyagraha movement. After Gandhi was imprisoned, Sarojini gathered 2,000 supporters under the sweltering sun to attack the Dharasana salt works, while the British soldiers faced a lot of problem to handle them. Vijaya Lakshmi Pandit. Vijaya Lakshmi Pandit was born in Allahabad. Vijaya Lakshmi Pandit, sister of Jawaharlal Nehru and daughter of Motilal Nehru. She was an Indian diplomat and politician who was the first woman appointed to sixth governor of Maharashtra and eighth president of the United Nations General Assembly. She joined in the non-cooperation movement to fight against the aliens. She represented India in many international conferences, meetings, attended innumerable public speeches. She died in Dehradun on December 1, 1990. Aruna Asaf Ali. Aruna Asaf Ali was an Indian educator, political activist and publisher. An active participant in the Indian independence movement, she is widely remembered for hoisting the Indian national flag at the Gowalia Tank Maidan, Bombay during the Quit India movement in 1942. Post-independence, she remained active in politics, becoming Delhi's first mayor. Interestingly, Asaf Ali was a lawyer who defended Batukeshwar Dutt and Bhagat Singh in the Lahore conspiracy case. Aruna was dubbed the heroine of the 1942 movement for her bravery in the face of danger and was called Grand Old Lady of the independence movement in her later years. An arrest warrant was issued in her name, but she went underground to evade the arrest and started an underground movement in the year 1942. Sucheta Kripalani. Sucheta Kripalani was an Indian freedom fighter and politician. She was India's first woman chief minister, serving as the head of the Uttar Pradesh government from 1963 to 1967. She was the first woman elected to the constitution. She sang the national anthem Vande Mataram at the session on 5th August. Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay. Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay, a social reformer who participated in India's freedom struggle. Her views on women's rights issues are as relevant in the modern times. She was born on 3rd April 1903 in Mangalore. Kamala Devi gradually emerged as one of the few feminist freedom fighters. She worked for the refugees and also contributed to the cultural landscape. Kamaladevi Chattopadhyay was a driving force behind setting up of key cultural institutions in the country, including National School of Drama, World Craft Council, Central Cottage Industries Emporium, and Sangeet Natak Academy. She was also the first Indian woman to run for a political office. Captain Lakshmi Sehgal. Captain Lakshmi Sehgal, a revolutionary fighter of the Indian National Army, a doctor and politician, didn't stop devoting herself to the cause of the country even after India got independence. Lakshmi Swaminathan, popular as Captain Lakshmi Sehgal, was born on 24th October 1914 to Ammu Swaminathan, a social worker, and Dr. S. Swaminathan, noted lawyer in Chennai. The fight will go on, Sehgal said to a young filmmaker from Berkeley who was making a documentary on her life. Her struggle as a revolutionist in the INA under the direction of exemplary Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose is well known. Pratibha Devi Singh Patil. Pratibha Patil was born on December 19 in the year 1934. She was also the first woman president of India. She is an Indian politician and lawyer who served as the 12th President of India from 25th July 2007 to July 2012. Patil is the only woman to have held the office. She had previously served as the Governor of Rajasthan from 2004 to 2007. Dr. Kiran Bedi. Dr. Kiran Bedi was born on 9 June 1949 in Amritsar. Kiran Bedi is the first woman in India to join the officer ranks of the Indian Police Service (IPS), social activist and tennis player who was the 24th Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry. Bedi earned recognition for the work she did as Inspector General of Prisons. In that capacity, she reshaped one of the largest prisons in the world, the Tihar prison complex in Delhi, by addressing the corruption and the human rights abuses she found there. She targeted sanitation and nutrition problems at Tihar and also implemented new literacy and drug treatment programs there. Jija Madhavan Hari Singh. Dr. Jija Hari Singh was the first woman IPS officer from Karnataka, is an artist, social activist, retired Director General of Police. Jija has many popular tags bestowed on her. The J-Mag on Women's special cover story adorned with a beautiful picture of her describes Jija M. Hari Singh as the first lady IPS officer in South India, a recipient of the Indira Priyadarshini National Award for contribution to arts. Jija Hari Singh is an artist of repute who has held solo exhibitions in Washington, Wollongong, and New Delhi. Kalpana Chawla. Kalpana Chawla was born in Karnal, India on March 17, 1962. On February 1, 2003, she died when the space shuttle Columbia crashed during its re-entry to the Earth. The life and career of Kalpana Chawla served as an inspiration to women who dream of being in space someday. Kalpana's legacy continues even after her death. Her only dream was for children, especially women, to not be deprived of education. While she was earning well at NASA, she never cared for material things. Instead, she would spend her money helping underprivileged kids by sending them to school. Geeta Gopinath. Geeta Gopinath is an Indian American economist serving as the first Deputy Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund, its number two leadership position since January 21, 2022. From 2019 to 2022, she was the chief economist of the International Monetary Fund. In that role, she was the director of IMF's research department and the economic counselor of the fund. In 2011, Gopinath was chosen as a young global leader by the World Economic Forum. Sneha Dubey. Sneha Dubey was born in Goa. She is India's first secretary at the UN. Sneha Dubey is a 2012 batch IFS officer after clearing the UPSC exam on her first attempt. Sneha Dubey, India's representative at the United Nations General Assembly, has garnered praise for a fiery response to Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan's speech. Her fiery speech at the UN reminds us of India's women diplomats to the UN. People shared her speech clips on social media and marveled at the young diplomat's reply, calling it a win for women's empowerment in the country. Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa was a Roman Catholic nun who devoted her life to serving the poor and destitute around the world. She was born in Skopje. After living in Skopje for 18 years, she moved to Ireland and then to India, where she lived for most of her life. Mother Teresa was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize and became a symbol of charitable, selfless work. Mother Teresa's work has been recognized and acclaimed throughout the world. Sindhutai Sapkal. Sindhutai Sapkal was an Indian social worker and social activist known particularly for her work in raising orphan children. She started begging on railway platforms for food. In the process, she realized that there were many children abandoned by their parents and she adopted them as her own. She then begged more vigorously to feed them. She decided to become a mother to everyone who came across to her as an orphan. She later donated her biological child to the trust Shriman Dagdu Sethalwai to eliminate the feeling of partiality between her biological child and the adopted children. Sapkal devoted herself to orphans. As a result, she was fondly called Mai, which means mother. She nurtured over 1,500 orphan children. She has been honored with more than 700 awards for her work. She used award money to buy land to make a home for orphan children. She was awarded the Padma Shri in 2021 in the social work category. Sudha Murthy. Sudha Murthy was born into a Madhva Brahmin family on 19th August 1950 in Shigaon, Haveri in Karnataka. Sudha Murthy is an Indian engineering teacher, author, and a social worker. She is also the chairperson of the Infosys Foundation. Sudha Murthy was awarded the Padma Shri, the fourth highest civilian award in India for social work by the Government of India in 2006. Sudha Murthy has founded several orphanages, participated in rural development efforts, supported the movement to provide all Karnataka government schools with computer and library facilities. Murthy initiated a bold move to introduce computer and library facilities in all schools in Karnataka and taught computer science. She got the Best Teacher Award in 1995 from Rotary Club at Bangalore. Punita Arora, Surgeon Vice Admiral Lieutenant General Punita Arora, PVSM, SM, VSM, is a former flag officer of the Indian Navy and the Indian Army. Arora was the first woman in the Indian Armed Forces to be promoted to a three-star rank. She held the ranks of the Lieutenant General in the Indian Army and Surgeon Vice Admiral in the Indian Navy. She has been awarded with 15 medals in her 36 years of career in Indian Armed Forces. She got Vishist Seva Medal for providing efficient and timely help to the victims of the Kaluchak massacre. Shivangi Singh. Shivangi is from Varanasi and is a part of the IAF's Golden Arrow Squadron based out of Ambala in Punjab. She joined the IAF's fighter stream in 2017. She flew the MiG-21 Bison aircraft soon after being commissioned and was until recently serving at a fighter base in Rajasthan. In 2020, Shivangi Singh became the first woman fighter pilot to fly Rafale after she was selected as a Rafale pilot following a stringent selection process. Avani Chaturvedi. Flight Lieutenant Avani Chaturvedi is an Indian pilot from Rewa district, Madhya Pradesh. She was declared as the first woman combat pilot along with two of her cohorts, Mohana Singh Chitterwal and Bhavana Kant. The trio was inducted into the Indian Air Force Fighter Squadron in June 2016. They were formally commissioned by then Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar on 18 June 2016 to serve the nation. In 2018, she was honoured with a doctorate degree from Banastali Vidyapith. On 9th March 2020, Chaturvedi was awarded with Nari Shakti Puraskar by President Ramnath Kovind. Shivangi. Breaking the glass ceiling in the sky, Sub-Lieutenant Shivangi becomes Indian Navy's first woman pilot. Coming from a mofussil in Bihar to join the forces, she received her qualification wings from Vice Admiral A.K. Chawla. Shivangi joined operational duties at the naval base in Kerala's Kochi. Shivangi Singh was born on 15th March 1995 in Muzaffarpur district of Bihar, India to a school teacher Hari Bhushan Singh and housewife Priyanka Singh. Shivangi hails from a humble agricultural background. During her childhood, she was captivated by the sight of seeing a politician using a helicopter to attend a political gathering in her native village, which inspired her to become a pilot. Haribhushan Singh, her father, is now the principal of a girls-only government school constructed on land donated by Shivangi's great-grandfather, who donated it to enable people to overcome the conservative abhorrence of educating girls. Her mother Priyanka is a housewife. Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw. Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw is an Indian billionaire entrepreneur. She is the executive chairperson and founder of Biocon Limited and Biocon Biologics Limited, a biotechnology company based in Bangalore, and the former chairperson of Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore. In 2014, she was awarded the Atma Gold Medal for outstanding contributions to the progress of science and chemistry. She is on the Financial Times Top 50 Women in Business list. Indra Nooyi. Indra Nooyi is an Indian-American business executive and former chairperson and chief executive officer of PepsiCo. She is instrumental in the lucrative restructuring and diversification of soft drink manufacturer PepsiCo Inc's brands. In 2021, Nooyi was inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame. Anuradha TK. Anuradha TK is a retired Indian scientist and project director of the Indian Space Research Organisation, Specialized Communication Satellites. She has worked on the launches of the satellites GSAT-12 and GSAT-10. She is the senior-most female scientist at ISRO, having joined the space agency in 1982, and also the first woman to become a satellite project director at ISRO. Nandini Harinath. Nandini Harinath is a rocket scientist at Indian Space Research Organization's Satellite Center in Bengaluru. She is a part of the Mars Orbiter mission Mangalyaan. She has co-authored a research paper on mission planning, analysis and operations, outline of key components. Arunima Sinha. Arunima Sinha is the world's first female amputee to scale Mount Everest, Mount Kilimanjaro, Tanzania, Mount Elbrus, Russia, Mount Kosciuszko, Australia, Mount Aconcagua, South America, Carstensz Pyramid, Indonesia, and Mount Vinson. Arunima liked football and also was a national volleyball player. She wanted to join the paramilitary forces. She got a call letter from CISF and faced her life-changing accident while traveling to Delhi. Robbers snatched her bag and pushed her out of the running train. She fell on the track and was unable to move due to her severe injuries. A train coming from the opposite side ran over her leg below the knee. She was rushed to the hospital with serious leg and pelvic injuries and lost her leg after doctors amputated it to save her life. She was inspired by cricketer Yuvraj Singh, who had successfully battled cancer and other television shows, to do something with her life. She excelled in the basic mountaineering course from the Nehru Institute of Mountaineering, Uttarkashi, and was encouraged by her mother to climb Everest. She climbed Mount Everest with a prosthetic leg, which was arranged by raising funds with the help of a Swami of Ramakrishna Mission, Vadodara. Salumarada Timmakka. Salumarada Timmakka, also known as Alada Marada Timmakka, is an Indian environmentalist from the state of Karnataka, noted for her work in planting and tending to 385 banyan trees along a 4-kilometer stretch of highway between Hulikal and Kudur. She has also planted nearly 8,000 other trees with the support of her husband. She found solace in planting trees. She received no formal education and worked as a casual laborer in a nearby quarry. Her work was recognized by the Government of India and she was conferred with Padma Shri in 2019. Tulsi Gowda. Tulsi Gowda was born in 1944 into the Halaki tribal family within the Honnali village, a settlement transitioning between rural and urban within the Uttara Kannada district in the Indian state of Karnataka. Tulsi Gowda is an Indian environmentalist from Ankula Taluk in Karnataka state. In 2020, the Government of India honored her with the Padma Shri for her outstanding contributions to tree conservation. She has planted more than 30,000 saplings and looks after the nurseries of the Forest Department. Despite having no formal education, she has made immense contributions towards preserving the environment. Her work has been honored by the Government of India and various organizations. She is also known as the Encyclopedia of Forest for her ability to recognize the mother tree of any every species of tree. Rahibai Soma Papere. Rahibai Soma Papere is an Indian farmer and conservationist. Rahibai Soma Papere is from Kambhalni village located in Akole block of Ahmednagar district in the state of Maharashtra. She has no formal education. She helps other farmers return to native varieties of crops, preparing hyacinth beans for self-help groups. Rahibai was awarded the Padma Shri, the fourth highest civilian award in India for agriculture by the Government of India in 2015. She is among three Indians on the BBC list of 100 Women 2018. Scientist Raghunath Mashelkar gave her the epithet Seed Mother. She has worked on farms all her life and has an extraordinary understanding of crop diversity. Madurai Shanmukhavadivu Subbulakshmi. M.S. Subbulakshmi was an Indian Carnatic singer from Madurai, Tamil Nadu. She was the first musician ever to be awarded the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian honor. She is the first Indian musician to receive the Ramon Magsaysay Award in 1974. Her many famous renditions of bhajanas include the chanting of Baja Govindam, Vishnu Sahasranama, Hari Tumaharo, and Venkateshwara Suprabhatam. Lata Mangeshkar. Lata Mangeshkar was an Indian playback singer. She is widely considered to have been one of the greatest and most influential singers in India. Her contribution to the Indian music industry in a career spanning 7 decades gained her honorific titles such as the Voice of the Millennium and Queen of Melody. In 1974, she was one of the first Indian playback singers to ever perform at Royal Albert Hall in London, UK. She recorded songs in over 36 Indian languages and a few foreign languages. Mangeshkar won several awards and honors. the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian award, Padma Bhushan in 1969, Padma Vibhushan in 1999, Zee Cine Award for Lifetime Achievements in 1999, Dada Saheb Phalke Award 1989, Maharashtra Bhushan Award 1997. Sudha Chandran. Sudha Chandran was a very skillful Bharatanatyam dancer that danced more than 100 stages. But she dances with a Jaipur leg. In simple words, she dances with a amputated artificial leg. Sudha Chandran is a versatile Bharatanatyam, Kathak dancer and famous actress. Her father, Mr. K.D. Chandran, and her mother, Mrs. Tangam, raised her in Mumbai, belonging to Vayalur, Tiruchirappalli, Tamil Nadu. Harnaaz Sandhu. Sandhu was born in the village of Kohali in Gurdaspur district, Punjab, close to the city of Batala, to parents Pritampal Singh Sandhu and Rabinder Kaur Sandhu. Her father is a realtor and her mother is a gynecologist. Sandhu is an Indian model, actress, and beauty pageant title holder who was crowned Miss Universe 2021. Sandhu had been previously crowned Miss Diva Universe 2021 and is the third entrant from India to win Miss Universe. P.T. Usha. P.T. Usha was born in Kuttalli, Kozhikode, Kerala. She has been associated with Indian athletics since 1979. She is often called the Queen of Indian track and field. Usha became the first Indian woman to reach the final of an Olympic event. She is the youngest Indian sprinter at 16 to compete in the Olympics at the 1980 Moscow Games and won the first medal of the 1982 Asian Games in track and field. Fondly known as the Golden Girl as well as Payoli Express, PT Usha is amongst India's most successful athletes. The lady with alacrity has ruled the running track for almost 2 decades, adding numerous accolades to her name and becoming an inspiration for every girl all around the globe. Usha has blown various competitions away. She has won a total of 30 international awards and 13 gold medals at the Asian Games and Asian Championships through her supersonic speed. PV Sindhu. Ursula Venkata Sindhu is an Indian badminton player. Considered one of India's most successful sportspersons, Sindhu has won medals at various tournaments, including the Olympics, and on the BWF circuit, including a gold at the 2019 World Championships. She is the first and only Indian to become the badminton world champion and only the second individual athlete from India to win two consecutive medals at the Olympic Games. Mithali Raj. Mithali Raj was born in a Tamil family in the city of Jodhpur, Rajasthan. Mithali Raj's father's name is Doraj Raj. Mithali Raj's mother's name is Leela Raj. Mithali Raj's family is from Andhra Pradesh. Mithali Raj's father has been an Indian Air Force officer. Mithali Raj is the captain of the Test and One Day Indian women's cricket team. She is considered one of the greatest female batsmen of cricket, who is the highest run scorer in international cricket, and she is the only woman to have scored more than 6,000 runs in ODIs. Avani Lekhara. Avani Lekhara is an Indian Paralympian and rifle shooter. She won a gold medal in 10-meter air rifle standing and a bronze medal at Tokyo 2020 Paralympics. Lekara is currently world number 2 in women's 10-meter air rifle standing (SH1) World Shooting Parasports ranking and has competed in the 2018 Asian Para Games. She is also the first Indian woman to win multiple medals in a single Paralympic Games. A car accident in 2012 at the age of 11 left her with complete paraplegia. Her father encouraged her to join sports, training in archery but moving to shooting, in which she found her true passion.